So Sarah's going to record this because we told everybody that couldn't be on the calls that they would be able to see the recording, and it's basically the PowerPoint in our voices. I don't think, do the pictures record, Sarah? Like the little the people?
I don't know. I'm not sure. I'll get back to you on that.
Okay. I was just curious. Okay. All right. So Sarah's going to flip through some of the slides. And what I did last time, there were like 7 or 6 people on the webinar. Last time, everybody did like a check-in, who's on the call. Yeah. So Sarah, are you starting to record?
Yep.
Okay. So welcome everybody. Here's our opening slide. This is for our Marin Teen Professional Fellows Field Advisors. This is sort of like the beginning way of doing something a little bit differently. We've heard from a lot of people who were in the Marin program in the past that they really had a good relationship and got a lot out of working with more senior staff or advisors or mentors. And this time we've decided that we're going to use people who are in the field who have either gone through one of our training cohorts, whether it was Marin or Middle Management Training Program or one of our Jelly programs, something like that. And so we've picked 13 more advanced or advancing leaders in the field who will be able to give some guidance to the people who are in the Marin Fellowship. So, Rachel, put you on the spot here. Name, your JCC, your job title, and the number of years you've been in your field.
Okay. Hi. This is really funny. Rachel, I'm at the Mandel JCC of Cleveland. I'm the CampWise director, and I have been in the field for 10 years, since 2007.
Wow.
Full time now. Yeah.
That's great. And you were in Marin, right?
I was in Marin, and I was a graduate scholarship.
Yay. Marin cohort what? Do you know?
The one before Josh. Does that help you?
We'll kind of figure it out.
With Monica, who's not on this call, and Alan, who's not on this call.
Right. That's pretty funny.
There's a lot of us from our cohort that I notice are doing this. So if you got one of them, we're all the same year.
I think it's wonderful. Oh, look, Monica's signing on. Yay. I think it's wonderful that there's so many people specifically from your class who have stayed in the field and advanced to, as an example, the director of an overnight camp, which is a huge job like you have. So that's really great.
Thank you. Is Monica there, Monica?
I see her name. I don't see anything else, but maybe she'll be able to log in a minute or two. We'll give her a little bit of a breath here. Or maybe not. I don't know if she can even hear us. All right, so let's move to the next slide, and hopefully she can hear us, and we can review things about what is a field advisor. Like I said in the very beginning, was that in a cohort program like this, it's really important that the people who are in the program have the opportunity to have more senior level colleagues to reach out to. And so field advisors are a guide. They're somewhat a career counselor. They're somewhat a role model. Somebody that they can have a confidential conversation with that's not at their home JCC, somebody that they can bounce ideas off of, someone who can coach them through a sticky situation, somebody that they can reach out to who has sort of like those advanced skills that they're learning to grow.
Someone came up to my office window. I'm with you.
Okay. And so through the Field Advisor Program, we're hoping that you'll be able to build that relationship with everybody, not just with the person that you're assigned to, but we're looking to sort of expand this as well. And that's why we asked, what did you feel that you were an expert in, what areas? Because we're going to encourage people to take a look at the list. And if they have a question in a certain area that you've said that you're an expert in, that they have access to you, to reach out to you, to ask a question or help them through a sticky kind of situation. So what is not a field advisor? Or a field advisor is not a person who intervenes in JCC politics. That's if there's something going on where you as a field advisor find out, hear about, are tasked with this confidential thing that you think somebody else needs to know, that's us. Both Sarah and I will have those sticky conversations either with the Marin Fellow or with their supervisor, but it's not something for you to do in JCC politics. It's not someone who counsels the fellow out of the JCC field. Sometimes you have these conversations with people and they say, I just can't do this anymore and I think I'm going to look for another job, or, that's where we come in also as the professional development department of the JCC, where we can have those conversations with people and either help them navigate a situation that helps them stay in the JCC field or helps them navigate a situation where they might move to another JCC. But that's not your role as a field advisor, and it's also not your role to take sides. So you may know somebody else that works at their JCC and they're telling you a story about, and I met so-and-so in the hallway and I had this horrible conversation. Can you believe you did that? And that might be a friend of yours. And it's not for you to take sides to say, well, I'm sure Jane didn't mean it that way, or, oh, I've known her for years and she would never do that. You must be wrong, or something like that. That's not what a field advisor is going to be doing. A field advisor also, Sarah, next slide, is all about keeping things confidential and really no gossip, because as you know, we know a lot of people and we have these sort of circles, concentric circles that grow and grow and grow. And because we know a lot of people, you might hear a story about somebody, or you might feel that you want to say to one of your colleagues, I just had a phone call with my Marin Teen Fellow, and can you believe that she told me that such and such is going on at the JCC? I can't believe that. That's for us, and if there is some kind of a glaring issue or a situation, it's certainly something that we'll take care of, not something that you need to intervene in. So the reason that we have the Marin Field Advisors, it's really about sharing wisdom. It's really about being there to help provide the bigger picture. Very often, as you know, growing up in the JCC field, what you knew 10 years ago isn't what you know now. And the politics that's involved and the feeling of, being somebody that's just starting in a JCC career or only 1 or 2 years into it, you don't really know all of the ins and outs of how a JCC works and what the bigger picture is. And that's where you can be very helpful. It's also, some JCC staff may feel very isolated. They might not have anybody else that's a peer advisor in their JCC. So this is a way to break through that isolation feeling and have them have somebody that they can make a connection to. And it's also a way for you to develop a sharing of ideas and knowledge. And so it's important to think of these things that might come up in your field advisor call that maybe you never thought about, that they're posing a new way of doing something or a new question that would help you with your staff also. It's a way of sort of like a give and take, and you can learn things about other JCCs as much as help them learn things about the JCC experiences that you've had in the JCCs that you've worked in. So when you were in any of the programs, did you have an advisor that you gained a relationship with?
Yeah, and it was different. I guess it was different when I was in Marin because I don't think we had an advisor at all. But I'm in Lehulahem now that has this sort of mentor advisor relationship a little bit more formalized, and I'm also a part of I'm a part of something with the Eye Center that has that as well. So it's been a while since I've had like a formal advisor. That I'm sort of going through the same process as Marin Fellows a little bit right now in a couple different programs.
Yeah, okay.
Just nice to sort of like, the people that I'm working with have been in different overnight camp settings that have been able to push us to question like why we do something because that's the way it's always been done. And I think that's the same for anybody else. Like that's how we do it here.
Yeah.
But that, hearing what happens at other places helps you to understand that it doesn't have to be the way you do it somewhere.
That's so true. We often get stuck in that, and I think that can really be a problem for some people. Let me just stop for a second. Monica, are you on the line? Can you unmute yourself? All I see is your name. So I don't know if you're there.
Can you hear me?
Oh, hey.
Hi. I don't have a camera on my desk. I'm in between offices for the summer, kind of floating around.
Okay, well, we're glad that you're here.
So I'm listening and watching. Hello.
Hi. Okay, so just remind us where you are, what JCC you're at, and how many years you've been there.
Excellent. So I am at JCC Rockland in Rockland County, New York. I have been here going into my 10th year, and this is my 3rd JCC.
Wow. And were you in a cohort program before?
I was a Marin Fellow with Miss Rachel.
Yay. Okay. Yeah, I don't know if you heard me before, but I was saying how excited I am that there's so many people who either went through Marin or Jelly or middle management training or something like that so that they are able to bring that experience to the group. So that's really cool.
No, it's really exciting. I was like, this is a perfect opportunity to kind of share our wealth, but also gain new perspective.
Yeah.
That maybe we're a little jaded to at the same time.
And that's one of the things that I'm really hoping that the people who are the field advisors, that this will feel like a learning experience and a growth experience for you too. Yeah. We're sending you a book that we've been working with, and we'll loop you into a lot of the other things. And then you can also build your own cohort of the field advisors. And we're hoping that we'll be able to do some phone meetings or webinars with just the field advisors to see what the experience is all about. So that's really great. So it's really, the next piece of it is building a relationship. And Sarah, you could flip to the next slide. It's a two-way street. Like I said, you can learn a lot as much as you can give a lot. And basically what we're hoping is that you and the fellow will have a monthly check-in call, that you'll let the fellow set the agenda, but you'll keep it on track. It's fine to have personal conversations and talk about kids and what you did for the weekend, things like that, but to keep the conversation focused on the work that we're doing and growing the Marin Fellow. I would suggest that you keep notes of your conversations so that when you have a situation, if somebody is telling you about, next Tuesday night, they're having a big event, after Tuesday night, you can send a follow-up or a hi and how did everything go? And this way you could refer back to your notes so that the next time you have your call, if it was a difficult conversation, you can ask and follow up and continue on the conversation of how did that go and what's the next step and what are you doing to grow and to expand in the programming that you're working on. Hang on 1 second because my phone is giving me these weather alerts. Excuse me. So the next slide shows us this really kind of cool graphic thing where you see these two people and one is thinking thumbs up and one is thinking thumbs down. And so we all come to any kind of relationship with internal biases. And I want to caution everybody that we should come to this kind of a relationship with no bias. We don't want to think that if you're assigned to somebody that's a smaller JCC than you are, or they've only been working for 2 years, or, excuse me, you've heard something not so great about their JCC or their exec or something like that. Those things shouldn't come into account when you're working with your fellow. We want you to make sure that you're consistent and fair. As you're having these conversations, take the personal out of it in helping them understand and manage your own emotions so that your own issues don't come into the conversation. But at the same time, I think it's really important if you went through something like they're going through, you can let them know and share a personal story about that. Confidentiality and transparency are very important. They are polar opposites, but they're very important at the same time. So the fact that you and your fellow are going to be in this confidential relationship, they have to know that what they say to you, you're not going to go back to their supervisor or their executive director and talk about. But at the same time, you want to be open and honest, and you want them to be transparent about things that are going on. So we have to make sure that you're setting the ground rules right at the very beginning so that you can have this kind of open conversation. And we're here, Sarah and I are here to help you navigate any kind of difficult conversations. Our next slide talks about listening as much as you speak. So it's really interesting to me because the more I learn about working with professionals in JCCs, the more I learn that we are storytellers, we are the fixers, we want to make things right, we want to help people through a situation. Very often, that makes us the speaker. But we need to make sure that this is about the fellow, and we want to hear from them what their situations are and have them draw out the situation. You can help coach them. Coaching is a very powerful thing. It's a lot of open-ended conversations. We had sent you a form, a list of things that were thought starters and conversation questions. You should have that. If you don't have it, Sarah can send it out again. It's all about asking those follow-up questions, listening carefully, and helping to help somebody come to the conclusion. Repeat back what you heard, and then ask and answer them with another leading question, and then give a suggestion. You know, you want to be able to see if they can come to the conclusion by themselves. But if you take a look at some of these thought questions, things that are really open-ended, that are deeper thought, like, is this really what you want? How will this change things? Are you up for the challenge? Different kinds of things that aren't necessarily specific to, did you think about whether you're going to have enough money to run that program, but a deeper dive. So I encourage you, when you're having conversations with your fellow, to keep that thoughtful questions list handy so that you can continue to guide the questions forward. Okay. We want you to be as a helper, but not a solver. Conflict resolution, difficult conversations. Somewhat on career counseling. You've all been in the field for a really good amount of time. So career counseling, helping people see what the career path is, explaining how you advanced in the field and how you can help them see what their career path is and how they can move up and advance within the JCC. Managing up and down is a difficult challenge for a lot of people. Marin Teen Fellows supervise people, and they also have supervisors. And so being in the middle like that, helping them navigate those sticky situations is a great idea. Every one of the Marin Fellows is tasked with doing a year-end project. And so we will be instructing them to reach out to you to share their ideas for their project and to help guide them through the conversations about focusing their project, working on it step by step, having it lead into some kind of a real meaty kind of conversation that will help their JCC move forward in whatever the area that they chose to do. We will be working with them in January on their project. Actually, when we're going to Israel in October. So that we're going to be working on that. They're going to be revealing a little bit about what their projects are, their ideas, but then they'll be working with you as well to advance the project further, and their execs. I just want to stop for a second and remind everybody that we started the cohort in January. We met in May for a second time. We're going to Israel October 16th. Then we're meeting again in January, and then it concludes at the biennial, which will be the following May of 2018. And in between, we've done webinars, and they've done some TED Talks that they watched. They're reading the book Grit by Angela Duckworth, which we're going to send each one of you a copy of so that you'll be able to see what they're learning. And they have a couple more webinars coming up as well. So, modeling leadership. We talked a little bit about that. Be a real role model for these people. It's all about helping them see how you've gotten to where you are and helping them get to that same level. Oh, and I see Anna Bronfman just got on the line. Hi, Anna. Role modeling also is sharing your experiences and your expertise, really encouraging people to give you feedback and really focus on the feedback and stick to the topics, basically, modeling the leadership role. Anna, can you hear us? She's working on it. Okay. And I already said something about managing your emotions.
So sorry. Hi, everybody.
Hi. Okay, now we can hear you.
Oh, great. And I hear you, which is...
Okay, good. Let me take a second to have you introduce yourself and tell everybody where you're from and how many years you've been working in the JCC, what your job is.
Anna Bronfman, Program Director at the Shorefront Y. I've been here since 2001.
Wow.
Yeah, and I started as a teen director and then moved on to taking over camp and after school programming, family engagement, enrichment, and basically I'm program director now, which covers everything that we do with families and children and most of the fee-for-service programming at the Y.
Terrific. And were you were in a cohort program? Which one?
Middle management.
Right. Okay. And a scholarship recipient.
Yep.
Okay. So was Rachel. Rachel was a scholarship recipient as well. And so we're coming to the end of our formal part of our webinar. Anna, it's being recorded, so we can send you a link to the recording for what you missed.
Fantastic.
So here's what's expected of the field advisors. I had said the monthly call-ins, follow up and continue to communicate. We're going to ask that you do a check-in report with us by January 1st. A lot of the fellows are still involved in camp. You can do a reach out. Sarah's going to send you the list if you haven't already gotten the list of who your fellow is that you're directly related to. We're going to send out an email that will give the fellows a list of what you had responded that is your expertise, so, and their contact and your contact information. So we're going to send you something in January or the end of December for you to give us sort of like a check-in report, let us know how things are going. The I am an expert conversations with others, if you find that those are happening on a frequent basis, certainly let us know. I'm going to be really curious to see how that aspect of the advisorship works. I'm hoping that people will reach out to you and be able to use your expertise and that you'll have the time to be able to have a conversation with them. The last piece at the bottom of the screen is that we would like you to join us at the Merin Seminar in January. It's going to be in Orange County, California in January 7th and 8th. The Merin Fellows will stay for a few days after you guys are there. But it's really a nice way for us to be able to do something in person with your fellow and as a larger group. And as I was saying in the beginning, we're really hoping that this is another way to do staff development for you as well. And so we're building the curriculum for those days to keep in mind that we want everybody to have an enriching experience about it. And you'll get more information in an email about the program, and we're going to cover all the costs and things like that. So something to put on your calendar now, and we're going to send information out to your executive directors as well, and hopefully you will be able to join us. So what I'd like to do is open up the conversation to anybody who's on the line to give us some questions or tell us about what you're thinking as you enter this new experience.
Joy, are we, after this call, we should be reaching out to the person that we're connected with?
Yes.
Okay, they're waiting for us to reach out to them.
They got an email telling them who they were connected to and that they should be in touch, or you should be in touch with them. I would say, I'd like you to send an email and say, hey, so excited, can't wait to speak with you, let's schedule a call.
Okay.
That'd be
I
great.
may have missed, it may have been covered. The I am an expert conversations, are you sharing out our surveys with all of the participants?
Yes.
Mhm.
I don't anticipate that you'll be flooded with calls from anybody, but we're hoping that if you say that you're an expert in navigating difficult conversations and somebody's having an issue with that, they might reach out to you. And this gives them a little bit of a broader spectrum of people to use as their network. Monica, I see your name highlighted. Are you?
Oh, sorry, I might hit my mouse. I'm just taking it all in while I have like a desk full of stuff in the way. So it's just that we want to make sure, are we supposed to be setting a monthly chat time, or it's just kind of trying to meet monthly? Should it be something that we're actually calendaring?
Yeah, you should definitely calendar it. We're going to tell the fellows that it's their responsibility to make sure that it happens. But I would say that if it's not happening for you, we want to know, because this isn't just a sort of add-on. This is really an important part of the program, and we want them to get as much out of the experience as they can, and we want you to get something out of the experience. And we really feel that over the next 9 months, it's important to have these check-in calls and for them to let you know what they want to talk about and be responsible to each other.
Perfect.
Can I add something to that?
Yeah.
If your JCC doesn't have a Zoom account or a GoToWebinar, I can help you set up video calls with your fellow and schedule those for you. So just let me know.
Great.
Yeah, that would be great. Then you can actually see them before you actually see them.
Nobody wants to see this mug, so I stay hidden.
Especially after a summer full of camp, right?
Oh my goodness, 4 more weeks.
Yay.
Oh my goodness, 4, I have 2 and I'm counting down.
Oh no, I run till the day before school, and then I run right into after school. Yay.
So I shouldn't tell Monica I'm done.
Yeah, lucky you. Go put your feet up.
But to be fair, I'm still living at camp until Labor Day, and school starts next Tuesday.
Oh, nice.
Why are you still living at camp? Isn't it big and lonely?
No, I have 2 groups here today. I have 3 groups here tomorrow and Thursday, and then we have our alumni camp this weekend. So we still have programming pretty much every day. I think there's 6 days this month that we don't have anybody on camp.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's just not 350. It's a little bit smaller.
That's great that you
Running
can.
into after school right after camp ends also, and my after school coordinator just given her resignation, so I'm gonna have a fun time looking for someone.
Bye.
Oh my goodness. Well, I think it's great that you can continue the spectrum of camp right into the school year and even into some of these special groups that come to an overnight camp is a really wonderful way to continue to use the facilities. So
Yeah.
as exhausting as it is, I think it's really fabulous. Does anybody have any other questions about the advisorship or Marin?
I did have a question. So we all gave our bios. Are we getting each other's bios, and are we getting bios on the actual fellows just to kind of get a better sense? Like we got what their job is.
I think I have a bio that I could, or a book that I could send around.
Okay.
Okay, and then we didn't share the fellows' bios with all the other fellows, right?
We didn't share the fellows. Yeah, that was there in the first seminar we gave them a a book of each of their bios.
Okay, and what about the field advisors? Are we sharing?
I don't think I have the field advisor bios.
Okay,
Do you mean like what you submitted for the survey?
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, my thought is just to have a little better of a sense of like who everybody is and what their experience is before coming to this table, that either helping my fellow by understanding where they came from, or, you know, like we had this I am an expert, that we can kind of say, oh, I know this other person has this experience or comes from this background, to offer that support.
I'll circulate the fellows bios and then the survey, I'm an expert, so you could see where everyone else is.
Thank you, Monica, for bringing that up. That's a good idea.
No problem.
Also, I know I have most, but can you send out all the advisors' contact information?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
It would be nice to have to connect that way as well.
Yep.
Yep, not a problem.
Great. Any other thoughts? No? Okay.
Good.
I appreciate you spending some time with us. If you have any questions, Sarah's going to send out some information, and she'll also send out a link once the recording is made into a viewable recording. She'll send out the link so that you can review some of the slides. And reach out if there's any other questions that you have. Let us know how things are going. And we look forward to working with you guys. It's very exciting.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks.
All righty, you're welcome. Take care.
Take care. Bye.
Bye.